Oh no, would you look at that? The titular character of our manga is in dire straits, but our deuteragonist, who can solve any problem with their mystical magical abilities, is about to solve the problem with their mystical magical abilities. So let's allow our deuteragonist to solve this problem with their mystical magical abilities. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. So another fun fact, like, it's fine. It's fine. Like, maybe I should have some hope and cope, but like, you're not booming Sakamoto. You're not booming Sakamoto. You're not booming Sakamoto. But with it being the case, not only do I happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times, but another fun fact, I do thank everyone who was like, Pencil Man, it's alright if you're a little bit mean, if you're a little bit nasty with Sakamoto days. I'd rather you be that than be lying. So okay, I'm glad. I wasn't really gonna stick to it. As y'all saw last video, I kinda like immediately went back on it, just because, hey, I try to be real with y'all, but I'm glad that y'all are okay with me being real with y'all. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to try and do what some of the comments are asking to, and I'm trying to change my purview, change my perspective. As someone put it so eloquently, they didn't say it just like this, but essentially because I've been so heavily on, like, Agenda Rune. Essentially, they said, Pencil Man, you a little bit too much power skilling pilled right now. It's like you don't even care about the story. And, like, neither does Suzuki sense. No, I'm kidding. But essentially, they point out the fact that you keep, like, doing the narrative this, narrative that, and by narrative, I mean, like, the agenda narrative. Like, oh, look at Gozu getting one-shot by Boiled, or Oki getting hit by a car and getting viciously dead. And I know. Like, I am. But I think it's because, like, y'all see what happens when I focus on the story, right? Or the lack thereof? The story that gets solved every single second by Shin? Like, legitimately, you could literally break down the last 10 chapters, if not prior to that, by Shin fixes the problem that just got introduced. Whether it be Sakamoto's death, which is going to be fixed this chapter, whether it be an immediate fix, like he just gets right back up, or he's going to be, like, incapacitated temporarily. He'll be alive, because titular character. That's going to be fixed by Shin. The previous issue of Shin getting jumped into the entire order, fixed by Shin and Sakamoto. Technically. But still, kind of mostly by Shin, considering he survived as long as he did. Even before that, the whole idea of the massive world-shaking events that was put up by Uzuki, kind of massively hampered, if not completely fixed by Shin, but admittedly there was, like, the kids that are back at the JEA school that also did a major part of that. That is very true. But, like, even before that, the whole idea of the conflict against the order before that whole crazy thing went down kind of also fixed and or caused by shit. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I try not to just be fully agenda-based, but not only has the last couple chapters just been fighting, but it's also been fighting that has negative impacts on the narrative. The reason everybody and their mama, myself included, is saying that Sakamoto Days currently has no stakes is because we cannot take the villain cast serious, because they cannot catch a single body to save their lives. They were jumping one man and could not do any lethal damage to him. The only person they managed to boom, and I put boom in heavy quotation marks, is a guy who couldn't even fight back, and he still fought back. You see my problem? Like, notably, I'm going down the agenda route, because agenda is basically all I got. Agenda's all I got. It's all I got. Like, I'm not trying to say Sakamoto Days is all hype moments in ore, but right now, that's kind of all it's been. Maybe we're going to get back into some story. I mean, Sakamoto's incapacitated. Obviously, we've gotten away from the main villain group, because the main villain group can't do anything to save their lives. So, like, hopefully, as many others are hoping for, I'm hoping and hoping that Suzuki-sensei, like, wakes up. And not, like, wakes up and, like, oh, you know, they've been sleeping. But, like, low-key in a way that they've been sleeping. Like, please. I know your editor, like, unless, notably, I'm not sure how much, like, editor influence goes in, like, the current manga day. I know, like, back in the day, someone as big and powerful and potent as Toriyama was basically under the whim of his editor to the extreme until, like, the Boo saga. And even then, there's still a little bit of editor interference there. But, like, if you know the story of the android through Cell arc, it's literally Toriyama's editor being like, I don't like that, 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 and that's alright. And then ending it. Like, legitimately, that's how it was. But, like, I cannot imagine being Suzuki-sensei's editor and being like, dude, like, really? You ain't even gonna pretend the villain cast is a threat? And that's my big thing. So my apologies for anyone who's like, Pencil Man, you're a little bit too agenda-pilled right now. Agenda Moto Days. I know. I just got engaged with the Pikamoto days of it all. But at the same time, it's like, man, when all you're giving me is fights, and nothing can happen in these fights, because it's always major characters involved, what am I supposed to do? But enough of that. What are you doing on my computer? I'm gonna have to annihilate you. I don't even remember you existing. But with it being the case, let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into chapter 221 of Good Moto Days, which is known as, I don't know. Let's see. Yesterday afternoon, a strong Wait, a string of incidents at the Super Aquarium. Oh, so we've skipped a day into the future. A string of incidents at the Super Aquarium. Various tanks and exhibits were demolished by a mysterious armed gang. But, like, they run the country now. Are they really mysterious? Like, Suzuki-sensei, you gotta keep consistent with your world building. In fact, that reminds me. I completely forgot. I'm not sure if I did mention it in the last review, but the idea that Suzuki-sensei is legit forgetting major narrative details, he did. And, like, major narrative details that weren't, like, a year ago, but, like, maybe a few months back. Remember when Tanabata attacked Uzuki, even though Shin had already used his one command on Tanabata? You could just say, oh, maybe Shin's wrong about his ability, but I just think Suzuki-sensei forgot. Kind of like how I was pretty confident that what's-her-name, Matari, had already used up all of her luck. But I kind of gassed up myself to think that was wrong, and some people were in the comments that was wrong. That was also just a case where Suzuki-sensei forgot. He had her state that she used up all her luck. Not the fake out with Tenkyu where she said she had used all of it up, or wasn't going to use all of it up. But literally after that, before the whole Shin tunnel effect situation. Suzuki-sensei is just forgetting details they wrote not even 6 months ago. So, like, Suzuki-sensei, did you forget that you've already, like, kind of shown off the new order? I mean, like, maybe it was just, maybe, you know, I'll give this a pass, though, because it's just, like, Uzuki who showed off. And was, like, everything. But then again, he did, like, execute Asaki on live TV, right? Like, that was the whole thing. I don't know. Let's see. According to witnesses, the criminal group took over the aquarium in a highly coordinated attack. Casualties. Was it, though? Well, I mean, like, maybe that's Suzuki, like, gaslighting media or something, but that wasn't a highly coordinated attack. They all kind of fumbled. Let's see. Poor character, whose name I'm forgetting right now. I know it's Sakamoto's wife. Ao? Yeah, Ao Sakamoto. I mean, like, I just feel bad for, like, Lou, Ao. Does Hana even exist? I feel like we haven't seen her in a little bit. Let's see. Up, Sakamotodays 221 Protect. Once again, Suzuki-sensei's art has not fallen off. The one thing I'll give, Suzuki-sensei's art has not fallen off. He's just been getting better and better. And I do love their coloring style. In fact, they were the lead for this week on Shonen Jump. It's Sakamotodays centerpiece for, like, the entire manga, and it's the lead on Visible's website. So that's very, very nice. Shout out to Suzuki-sensei. Clearly, the manga's still doing fine, and that's the thing. Don't take my consistent negative criticisms of it as me being like, oh, Sakamotodays is trash and should be canceled. No. Just give me, like, Sakamotodays in Prime Museum arc again. Like, don't worry. I know. It's a shonen narrative. Nothing major can ever happen to the main characters. In fact, that's kind of how it is in most narratives, alright? I get it. But just make the villain cast feel threatening again, somehow. After they definitely failed the Boom Sakamoto and couldn't do anything to Shin. I'm not sure how you're going to do it. But just make the villain cast feel threatening again. Alright? Let some things that happen in the narrative actually matter for more than 3 chapters. Okay? And maybe nerf Shin. Maybe. I'm still back and forth. Even, like, my opinions on Shin have definitely drifted more towards the positive side, but, like, maybe take away not maybe take away his abilities, but, like, put harder caps on them. Have him only have one, I'm out of energy or I'm tired, and then he just stops. Instead of, I'm out of energy, I'm tired, I can't move, and he proceeds to move and fight and use his abilities, like, 10 times more. If you can do all 3 of those things, Suzuki-sensei, Sakamoto can go right back to being peak. Right? Like we're right there. We're right there. I don't know, Suzuki-sensei. Let's see. Oh, Sakamoto. Once again, a character like I'm kind of convinced we're just never gonna see again. So I do like that he gets the. Oh, that's nice. A little reference to Nagumo in the newspaper here. But I'm assuming Sakamoto is kind of just written out of the narrative now. I don't think we're ever gonna see the character again. Considering how, I know there's gonna be a bit more of the Agenda Moto days in me speaking, but considering how kind of irrelevant Sakamoto has been, thanks to his inability to fight, and once again, I keep going back to it, the man couldn't even tag Taurus in 8 of their battles while he was already slim. I'm assuming Sakamoto just isn't real. Like, we're never gonna see him as in, like, an active participant or character again. And I do think it is kind of sad. I did like how his choreography differentiated itself from Sakamoto's choreography, but hey, I get it. We're increasing the narrative stakes, even if we aren't really increasing the narrative stakes. So it's nice to see the cameos of Sakamoto, considering he is really the face of the manga. Like, all the emblems based around the manga are really based around Sakamoto. Because remember, Sakamoto doesn't even have a mustache. And nowadays, he doesn't even really wear glasses. Let's see. Okay. Heisuke, Shin, Sakamoto, Shin, Heisuke, Kendaka, my glorious King Boiled. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So I missed it. I missed it. There we go. I was like, you may have seen my brain like lag a little bit. I was so confused. I did not read the tiny badump, badump. But there we go. Oh wow! Would you believe it? The main character of this manga couldn't die. Shin fixed the problem again. Wow! Yay! And you may be like, well, Pencil Man, what did you expect? Sakamoto to die? No! No. So you may be wondering, Pencil Man, what did you want then? Just, like, delete the last 10 chapters. Like, you know what? You know how Murata, when doing, I specifically think it was the Monster Association arc, and very specifically how he handled Monster Goro, how, like, not many people liked how Monster Girl was handled, and then Murata basically said, actually, and just erased a good chunk of the back portion, basically the entire Monster Girl versus Saitama fight, erased all that, and then proceeded to upscale the OPM mangaverse, like, massively, with Cosmic Fear Goro. Do the same thing with the last 11 chapters. Just don't put us in this scenario. just delete them. Just hard wipe them. Hard wipe. You can keep everything up to the point where Uzuki Sensei takes over the world, or until Uzuki takes over the world. You can keep that. I don't even like the pace in that. Once again, I feel like Isaki was really like just wiping the rug. But like, let that feel a little bit realer. Don't let Shin solve every problem. Like just delete it. That's what I would have wanted. That's literally impossible. So if you're asking what I would have wanted from the point of last chapter, aka Sakamoto being saved by Shin, like there's nothing else that could have happened. Like once again, even as a person who's like, hey, I like my narrative to have a little bit of meat and weight and stakes to it. You're not booming your main character. You're not booming your titular character, at least not extensively. Maybe for a little bit, you can take a main character out of the narrative. And maybe that's what this is going to be. Maybe Sakamoto's going to be, his heart is beating again, but he's taking too much damage. And then he's going to be like out for a little bit. That's fine. But, I don't know, man. Just don't do it. Because once again, all this does is prove to me that the entire villain cast, the entirety, once again, there was not a single... Thank you. But we don't even know what's up with Thank you. That's the thing. They kind of just left him in the prison. Maybe he's vibing, maybe he's not. Who knows? But the entire villain cast could not catch a single body. But you know what? Understandable. Once again, main characters don't die in narratives in general. Not to talk of Shonen Jump narratives. It's very, very rare for it to happen. Not impossible. There are definitely many cases where it has happened, but it's not very likely for it to happen. But not only did no major characters die, which is, once again, understandable. I get narrative writing, and obviously you're not gonna shoot your own wallet, alright? Like, we're not gonna boom Sakamoto, the titular character. Or Shin, the Deuteragus. I get that. No one took even permanent damage. Sakamoto will be fine. Shin will be fine. Heisuke, Kindaka, Boyle, they're all gonna be fine. There's no significant damage. 5 chapters on the line when everyone's fine. Who knows, maybe it'll be next chapter, maybe it'll be this chapter. All the effects of the entire main villain cast jumping our Deuteragus and our main characters will be gone. It will, like it never happened. That's the issue. There's no permanence to anything. And the villain cast is incompetent. That's the issue. But let's see. Did his heart really just start beating again? Quick, compress the wound. Did it work? Oh wait, did it work? What's going on? I can't hear Heisuke. Uh-oh. Overuse my powers. Thud. Alright. Is he gonna get up again and keep fighting? But then again, is this a I'm guessing this is a flashback, even though it doesn't have the flashback coloring, because this opening page is talking about yesterday afternoon. So, like, presumably everything's fine, I'm guessing. Who is this, though? This seems to be somebody. Or not, just the band. Oh! Wait! I kind of forgot. I forgot about these 3. Considering how badly they might... Yo, man. Shout outs to every other person in the comments who's like, don't worry, Pencil Man. I also like Gozu. And I also hate that he's struggling so much and getting so disrespected as the newest, coolest guy. Thank you. But I kind of forgot about this trio. And he just must be the Spulgooter. No, like if there's actually a Heisuke reveal, or not a Heisuke, if there's actually a Kamihate, whatever. If there's actually a Kamihate reveal, I will be genuinely shocked, man. Because it just seems so consistent. He must just be the Spulgooter. Spulgooter wants Osaragi, whatever. Let's see. Osaragi, still recovering. Kamihate, you had a lot of nerve showing your face here. Oh? Oh? Is that my glorious, juicy, legendary, handsome, scrumdiddlyumptious King Nagumo?
Well, it's good to see you, Yoichi-san.
I still can't believe I completely missed the fact that we got his first name so casually. Back at the end of the museum arc, when they said Yoichi Nagumo, for some reason, it didn't even click to me, like, oh yeah, it's the first time I ever heard his first name.
But Yoichi-san desu ka. Nagumo desu ka.
Where is Yotsumura now that I think about it? I mean, is he still, like, now that Kindaku's away, like, we know they know they're conscious. In fact, it is kind of sad that we didn't actually get to see, like, a real proper union between Kindaka and Yotsumura, considering how close those two were, and, like, how major the characters are, retrospectively speaking. But, that aside, like, what is he doing now? Like, is he checking on his son, maybe? Like, is that why he wasn't there? Because he's the only one that's missing from the good guy side, now that I think about it. Everyone else is present. And you may be like, what about Lou? What about Lou? Suzuki-sensei does not care about Lou. Does not care at all. Let's see.
Nagumo, thanks for creating a disturbance. You made my job easier.
Oh, Nagumo, what you talking about? Nagumo, what you talking about? What you talking about, Nagumo?
Even Shishiba was like, yeah, what are you talking about?
Oh?
I think this awoke something in somebody. Maybe woke something in Nagumo. Let's see. Wait, you're mad?
I mean, like, notably, as cool as it was to see Shishiba, like, go band for band and try to run the ones with X, what did he think was gonna happen? what did he really think was gonna happen? Like, dog, I'm not getting mad at Nagumo for not showing up to help. That was a stupid plan. Like, you should have at least coordinated. You're lucky Osaragi and Kamihanse showed up to save your behind, bruh. Like you would have been cooked. Well, maybe. Who knows? Shishiba is a major character. He probably would have been fine. Listen.
Wait, you're mad? Of course I am, you piece of scum. While you were raging at JAHQ, I infiltrated deep inside HQ and gathered intel. That was the plan, right?
Okay. Once again, I don't even blame Nagumo, right? Like, one, we still don't know the full intentions of this character, right? Like, as much as I love Nagumo, he's my glorious, juicy, scrumdiddlyumptious, shape-shifting king. We have, like, basically no context for the man, and his history just raises even more questions about what little context we have in him. It's like, really, we have nothing. We know nothing, and we understand nothing on some KH1 Anthem type beat. So we truly are kind of hooked when it comes to Nagumo. But at the same time, I do think him working, like, not necessarily counterintuitively with the narrative, but working, like, parallel to it and kind of doing his own thing is one of the most interesting things about Sakamoto Days. And it's kind of been, he has honestly been, like, the one through line. I can't ever really say Nagumo's fallen off. He's only really gotten better. Where other cases where I'm like, I'm appreciating Shinmore as a character, but I'm really not liking how he's being used as a narrative device. Like, this is an interesting direction for Sakamoto, but it does feel kind of random, and it feels kind of weird for the character. I'm not sure why we're doing him with this in this way, and then gonna randomly bring it back in the way that we did. Tenkyu, he's a really cool idea, but then he kind of got cliffed really, really badly, very, very quickly. Now I don't know what's up with that. Like, and Ergozu, he looks really, really cool, but, he kind of keeps getting done dirty at every single opportunity by the most random of characters and most random of occurrences. In Nagumo's case, he's kind of just been on a constant rise. Like, he was always cool and mysterious and always working parallel to the narrative. And now he's still being cool and mysterious, but now with more character depth. Like, he's the one of the few characters who has, like, genuine conflict about Uzuki Ryon. And, like, hey, how do I feel about that? We know Sakamoto's stance on it. He just doesn't like it. He's like, dude, like, stop using my friend as, like, an excuse to slaughter countless innocent people. Please? No? Alright, guess I'll get backshots then. But Nagumo, at least last we saw him, was like, oh, my homegirl, she's in a man, and not like she usually was. But
yeah, sure. My plan was to kill X. But Oki and Taurus and those darn JA losers were a huge pain in the butt. You funneled all the enemies my way, didn't you?
No, Shishiba. You didn't talk to anybody and randomly attacked the leader of the organization in his home base. Like, Shishiba, I know you're not this stupid, gang. You I'm lagging like crazy. What's happening? Hold on. Let's not do this. Let's not do this device, please. Seriously. Like, come on now. I really gotta do this every single time. Really? Gosh darn it, man. But you fumble the bag, Shishiba. I can't. Now, Shishiba, I love you, man. Cannot side with you on this one. You fumbled. You decided it was a good idea to run headfirst into the final boss. In the final boss's home base without any prep. It's not even like Oki and Taurus were far away. They were right there. Kind of, sort of. But like, still, like, that's the thing, man. Dude, you did that. You even told your one solid backup, hey, deuces. So why are you getting mad at Nagumo for a bag? You intentionally fumbled. Maybe if you had plotted a little more, maybe if you had told somebody something, maybe you could have boomed Uzuki. What?
Let's see. Well, security at HQ was tighter than I thought. I just needed a little time. Anyway, I figured Osaragi was with you. I mean, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And once again, I still don't know why Nagumo's even remotely entertaining the idea that this is his fault. Buddy, pal, amigo, this is, you had done, in fact, you had already been you'd been kicked out of the order. When was the last time you, well, there was that moment, I think, where they communicated. I think. But that was like before. Yeah, that was before. But still, like, dude, gang, this is not Nagumo's fault. I was like, sure didn't expect you both to get creams. I thought you'd at least kill a few of the leaders.
Oh, Nagumo, my boy. Fry him up then. Bread him up a little bit. Throw him in the pan, let it sizzle. Dribble and drizzle all over real quick. And fry him up then.
But at the same time, maybe. That's the thing. He was only going for X. And he was never going to beat X. So, like, yeah, I'm not shocked that he didn't really get anybody. Ugh. Uh-oh. Grabs him. Shishiba. Don't get me wrong, you did get feats on Uzukimura. I'll give you that. But not only is that just nowhere near as impressive as I used to think it was, well, on top of that, Nagumo was already seen to be the second best fighter in the order. And that was when Sakamoto was alive. So now he's currently number 1 out of that previous order group. You're not built for the Shishiba, and you're still battle damage? Who do you think you are? Let's see. Go to heck. After I kick your behind, I'm done. Hey! I'm sorry. I'll give Kamihate a better voice. Let me think of one. Let's see. So you're cool with letting X continue this nonsense? I look like they're just both disengaged. Or maybe they just calmed down a little bit. Because maybe she was like, well, now that you mention it, booming you probably isn't a good idea. Considering you need all the help you can get. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Calm little flex, I get. Ah, okay. So Nagumo didn't up his blade to fight against Shishiba. He upped his blade because there are people in the wall. So he stabs through the wall, and Shishiba just hammers straight through it. Very interesting. But I do like how this shows the difference between the two in their fighting styles. Nagumo's still very precise. He just jabs him directly in the brain, just instant booming him. Meanwhile, Shishiba just hammers straight through the wall and removes the whole dome piece. Precision versus just sheer power. What's it? I'm not in the order anymore. How do you know? Well, that's kind of irresponsible. Well, yes, and yeah, like Shishiba, dude, you do realize you're like a wanted criminal now, man. Like it's actually in your best interest to go out of your way to still try and boom Uzuki, but maybe do it a bit smarter this time, and not try and jump the final boss in his own headquarters. Maybe, and maybe do it with Shin. He'll probably carry. Let's see. Oh, J.A. Traitor. Huh? No, like who do y'all think y'all are? War farming like crazy, breaking through the glass, thinking y'all are taking down order members? Who do you think you are? Let's see. Huh? Protecting law and order was our job. The state of this country is on us too. That's not who you are. Ah, yeah, you know what? I agree. Yeah, I was literally my main thing I was just about to say is like Nagumo, gang, you don't care about that. You don't care about, like, and once again, I'm only saying that as a guy who still doesn't actually fully know what Nagumo cares about. But, like, clearly the whole law and order and state of the nation, it matters to some degree. But I think, if anything, it matters to Nagumo in the same way that it matters to Sakamoto, where he's like, hey, I'd like a place to live that's at least remotely stable. And also, the guy's using my dead homegirl as a reason to do all this nonsense. Like, that's the only way I could see Nagumo remotely caring about something like that. Because outside of that, I'm like, dang, you don't care a lick. Like, what you talking about, gang? What you talking about? See, that's the problem with you. What is? It's for the good of the world. Oh, so they are still fighting. But they're just chatting as they fight. Okay, I was like, it's for the good of the world. It's for other people. I don't trust guys who justify killing like that. Didn't you trust Yotsumura? I mean, like, that's kind of how he did it. like what was Yotsumura booming people for? I mean, like, I guess for the bad, but, like, still, like, I don't know, Shishiba. You really ain't making much sense in this chapter, gang. Let's see. Be honest for once, Nagumo. Why do you really want to kill X? I mean, once again, probably the fact that he's using his homegirl as a meat sock. Probably is a pretty good reason to want to boom him. Then again, I guess Shishiba would have no context for that. Like, we have barely any context for that. Huh? Eek! Uh-oh. Grabbed onto Nagumo's trench. Oh, not Nagumo's trench, not Nagumo's trench, not Nagumo's trench. Jeez. Okay, Osaragi? Did Shishiba I know she never let go of it. Did Shishiba repair it for her, or did she just get him did he get her another one? That's a fully repaired chainsaw. Alright, then. Heavy. Whoa. Osaragi, you're awake! Thank goodness! I'm sorry. I don't want to give him... Like, this is I have genuinely no context for how this character should sound. I have no idea. I can't wait till the anime gets to him in, like, Core 3 or 4 or whatever, so I can, like, actually have a voice for him. Because, like, I have no idea how to voice Kamihate, or Kamihite, or Kamihate. I have no idea. Let's see. Oh, she's crying? Blip, 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 blip. You're crying? I lost to them, even though I've been given permission to murder in exchange for protecting law and order. I mean, I get, but like, you know, that's the one thing I'll give Osaragi though. Technically, she never really lost the fight until Uzukimura. I'll give her that. Like, now I think about it, sure, and that was one of the big things, right? That was one of the biggest reasons. Like, as much as I saw other people glaze Osaragi, I was like, she's alright. Mainly because she never really fought anyone of relevance head on, and even the ones that were like close to relevance, she kind of off guarded. Like, notably, her biggest major concrete dub that wasn't against like random teenagers plus Shin, who were not trying to fight her back in the museum arc, was Carolina Reaper. And I guess Dump, but like Dump was a random. Like Lu and Shin were taking down the international assassins well before any of their M. So an order tier fighter being able to take down a international assassin, ooh, crazy. But like, she did off guard Carolina Reaper to doom and despair. Like, cut a hole in the ground after he was already beat up and then sliced into ribbons. So like, I'm not really gonna give her too much credit for that. So realistically, this is her first LLL that, like, she has to hold and sit and think about. So I do get it. Just considering a character like her was probably so focused on that, like, definition and identity to the point where she was like, fine, I'll rebel with you, Mr. Shishiba, because I kind of don't really have a sense of justice or an... I kind of like that. But essentially, she was like, I don't really have an internal moral code or sense of justice to go by. I guess I'll just trust whatever you think. She went that way, and since it kind of failed, she now has to realize, well, darn, gang. Life ain't all sunshine and rainbows, dog. I may be a bum. I may be a bum. Maybe Pencil was right. Let's see. Now, I have no reason to exist. See? Osaragi gets it. She's sick. Where did you get that from? Kamihate, where did you get that from? Let's see. Quit crying. Sheesh. Why do you really want to kill X? Nagumo, have you not thought about this? Has it really not clicked? Let's see. Hey, Uzuki. Let me just talk to a cow one more time. But see, like, I don't. And then, you know, it's funny. You can actually go back. This is the beautiful thing about having Sakamotodays reviews up as a part of the channel for so long. You can go back. I still don't really get what Nagumo sees in this scenario. Like, I don't know. I would be so, like... I think my vitriol would spike higher. like, genuinely. Especially considering Nagumo knows the context, right? Or at least he has a loose idea of the context from, presumably, whatever Sakamoto told him. Or what he may know personally of what happened to a cow. So the fact that he's so, like... Hey, please, let me hear... Because, like, I don't think, like... Uzuki's voice doesn't change, right? Because we know he's been in the Akao personality for a majority of the time they actually interacted with Sakamoto, Nagumo, and crew. But none of them noted that he sounded exactly like Akao until they started picking up on her mannerisms that he started to exhibit. And obviously her fighting style. So, it doesn't sound like Akao. It doesn't look like Akao. It just acts like Akao. And it's being used, like, I don't know, if one of my friends, especially one of my closest friends, was being used as, like, a meat puppet by a madman, I'm not desperate to hear more of it. I'm desperate to shut it up. Like, please, like, go. Like, this is the one thing I'll give Sakamoto completely. Yeah, man.
stop talking like my friend lives on inside you when you're like it's, I don't know, it's like wearing somebody else. And don't get me wrong, I put on voices all the time. I love the idea of imitation and impersonation and stuff like that. But I'm not out here claiming to be Imperfect Cell. I'm not out here claiming to be Lord Freeze. I'm not claiming any of that. I'm just using their voices. Uzuki is out here claiming that, hey, she lives on in me, gang. You know, we the same peoples now. I'm shocked Nagumo's even remotely done. Especially, maybe as a person who does this guy so often, he kind of like blurs the line between you. But like, I don't know, man. That made me hate it so much more.
But Nagumo, he really seems like down bad for it, man. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, me personally, I just don't get it. I won't waver this time. Even if a Count's persona comes out, I will kill him. Okay. So it is because of the persona that he hesitated, but now he's more determined. He's more determined just to boom room. But once again, though, why? Like, it doesn't even, like, now, especially with this context, it doesn't seem like Nagumo even has a solid reason for wanting to do it. I thought there was going to be, like, I'm going to do it so Akal can, like, essentially her legacy can finally rest. No, he's like, I'll do it even if she comes out. Which is like, then what are you doing it for? Because clearly, once again, I do agree with Shishiba, but it's not for the sake of, like, the world and order and peace and balance. Like, come on now, we ain't done dumb. But then what is it for, Nagumo? What is you cooking, gang? Like, I genuinely don't know. What is in the bag right now? Why do you want to boom him? Is it just, business? I don't know, man. You seem a little bit too invested for that. Let's see. Nagumo, say whatever you want. My feelings won't change. I have no interest in what X does or who dies in this country. That is actually consistent with Shishiba's character. I won't lie. Like he does it for the bag. But then again, legitimately, now that I think about it, that's even weird. I think because he only attacked Uzuki because he thought Uzuki was going too far, right? If it was really all just about the bag and living, he would have been fine. He would have never rebelled in the first place. So I think once again, all these characters, except for like Osaragi and Kamihate, who are the much simpler characters out of all the characters present so far, I think they're kind of just lying to themselves. Because, like, Shishiba, you only attacked because you had a fundamental moral disagreement with Uzuki and how he was handling the situation that is the country and the world. And its people. So, what are you talking about? And Nagumo, you just don't seem to have a stance. Which is, and not in, like, the, ooh, I wonder what mysterious reason he doesn't have a stance. I just think he doesn't know. Which is, once again, an interesting point to take the character. I feel like I've been saying that a lot about, like, the major characters, except for, like, Shin. I think Shin, once again, I feel like he's being much more used as a, like, heavy narrative device rather than an actual character, which I'm never the biggest fan of. I get it, all characters are narrative tools, but, like, don't let it be so obvious. Once again, just like, I know no major characters will really die in a piece of fiction, at least gaslight me. Gaslight me a little bit. But for both Sakamoto not being able to fight, and Nagumo, like, being kind of directionless at this point, interesting places to take both of these characters. How I feel about it will definitely end up depending on how these arcs end. Especially considering it feels like in where I can kind of rationalize Sakamoto if I do like a handstand backflip. I really cannot rationalize Nagumo here. Like, dude, what were you cooking for this entire time? Like, is there like a separate plan scheme you're cooking up parallel to the narrative? Because it always seemed like Nagumo had like some bigger, grander plan that we just weren't privy to. But now that we've actually got a glimpse inside his head for like one of the few times, gang, what are you cooking? Let's see. Gozu? I'm sorry, Gozu, man, I wish you were better. I'm not just accepting defeat. That's all. Okay, so Shishiba's like, yeah, I'm not really doing it for anything, even though I think that is a lie considering what he initially rebelled for. But he's like, I'm still gonna stand on business though. Like, I low-key got worked. I'm just gonna go and get me some, like, non-conductive... He's gonna go get some wooden mallets and gonna go absolutely crazy on Gozu. Let's see. That's good enough. But Nagumo, what is your motivation? Let's see. Quit quibbling over stupid details, you losers! Ugh, it's scary when these dudes fight. Kamihata, you can't have both. You can't have both. Let's see. What? Kamihata, why don't you just show us your face? Yeah, we're never really this close. Heck off! I'm not into guys touching me. They didn't say they wanted to touch you. They said they wanted to see you. Coming out to you, what do you think? What do you think will happen when that cloak comes off? Let's see. Oh, poor Osaragi. Osaragi, I hope you get some relevant feats. Let's see. I know she one tap Gozu, but Gozu's kind of fodder. You know what?
now, because I remember, who was I talking to about Osaragi? And I was literally like, hey, sure, she one-tap Gozu, but you know who else one-tap Gozu? Boyle. Boyle one-tap Gozu. So keep Gozu, don't use Gozu to upscale just yet, gang. Because he's a one-tap victim of all kinds, from cars to half-broken chainsaws to boils. Listen.
No trace of Sakamoto here. Check the manholes.
Roger.
Find him! Hey. Who is speaking? Actually, no. We'll get a blank voice. Aren't we focusing on Sakamoto a little too much?
Oh, hey, it's right.
Speak of him and he shall appear. Let's see. It wasn't as tough as he's rumored to be. With that wound, is he even still alive? He won't croak that easily. As long as he's alive, he'll keep standing in my way.
Ain't it crazy how you with your entire org group of your top tiers couldn't take down one man for sure?
Let's see. As long as he's alive, he'll keep standing in my way. I'll never be able to move forward unless I kill him.
So you're never gonna be able to move forward.
Let's see. Fine. I'll help you.
Gozu, that's kind of your whole job, bro. Like that's what you're here for.
Fine. I'll help you. Okay. When we're done with this, you better ramp it up.
Oh? Sorry, that was meant to be like the TM piece out here, but that came in like a fart. Let's see.
We can't have our leader moping around forever. Haru and the others will be rolling in their grave.
Poor Gaku, man. So is Gaku alive? Because I've seen a lot of people huffing Gaku Kopio, and I saw someone in last week's comment section very clearly say, I want Gaku back. Is he dead? He did just get stabbed through the heart. It may be like, pencil. He got stabbed through the heart, but he got stabbed through the heart by Sakamoto. So, like, maybe he's fine. Maybe he's fine. Because notably, it's just Toruma that he mentions, but then who else will be rolling in the graves? I mean, like, the other kids? But, like, isn't it just... Like, who died of the Alkmaar kids? Isn't it just... Because I remember it's very clearly noted that Club Jam and Carolina Reaper weren't actually Alkmaar kids. And I don't think they know about Tenkyu, or, like, whatever happened to him. Nor do I think Uzuki really cares. So I'm assuming Haruma and the others would probably be Gaku. That's a Gozu early. Gaku, I mean. But, like, man, can't even mention him by name. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Haruma too, but Gaku was definitely the more popular and more important of the members, the one who was around for longer. So I'm really shocked that he hasn't really gotten a name drop or even a mention. Let's see. Haruma and the others will be rolling around over in their graves. Okay. Alright. Whatever goes there. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look on the whole old woman voice.
I did everything I could. Thanks to his heart, he's hanging by a thread. Whether or not Taro opens his eyes again depends on his own life force.
Oh, thanks, Granny Mia.
You boys better scram.
Huh?
X is after you, right? You don't stand a chance with Taro in this state.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
But then again, like, is it true? Is it true? Like, Granny Mia,
you haven't read the last couple chapters.
You don't know how crack shit is, like, Granny Mia. You may be a little bit behind on the meta right now. Don't sleep. Let's see.
You don't stand a chance with Taro in this state.
Thanks, Granny Mia. I appreciate your concern.
Shin.
But I'm not running away. Mr. Sakamoto created this place for us.
Oh, so they're actually in Sakamoto's itself.
Oh, so they rebuilt the store, I'm guessing? Let's see. Mr. Sakamoto created this place for us. I care about it too. I'm prepared to fight to my last to defend it. That's what Mr. Sakamoto would do.
You know what? Once again, this is me again. Let me. Even though some of it does feel weird, but I think it is. This is where I'll go with, like, I'll allow my appreciation for the characters and my genuine confusion behind some of their, like, choices here as a good thing rather than a bad thing. So let me hit the. I'll call the chapter word. And be like, Pencil Man, like you were still relatively negative, and I know, definitely was relatively negative still, but I think ultimately, I have to go with the idea that certain things will just need to happen. We're not booming a titular character. Shin was going to bring him back. That was kind of an issue that was more so laid at last chapter's feet.
or in the previous chapters before, for setting up the scenario that we knew was going to end this way. No doubt. So I'm not going to really take points off for that. So him coming back, perfectly fine. And Shin actually knocking, fine, whatever. The interactions here, though, I think this is what raises the chapter up for me. And this is the main core tenet of the chapter, right? Like we end with this stuff. But it really is Shishiba and Nagumo's character conflict. Well, I do think Shishiba is kind of like huffing straight ganja or copium. Like, I don't know what he's talking about here. Someone correct me if I'm just misinterpreting what Shishiba's talking about here. But the idea of him blaming Nagumo or getting mad at him and having all this, like, it is strange, but I do appreciate the character conflict, right? Like, we have these two characters, one who's relatively straightforward, does things how he feels for them, and ultimately walks down a relatively straight and narrow path, versus a character who's extremely complicated, and a character with a whole bunch of mystery behind them, where no one, not even presumably Suzuki-sensei, or even us, especially, had like a full, clear bird's eye view of the guy. And obviously, finally seeing some of his own mental and internal conflicts is actually very, very interesting. And it's funny, because it's like Nagumo has this really weird, unclear path that he's going down, but it's still focused on slaughtering X. Meanwhile, Shishiba has this seemingly unclear path that he's going down of not accepting defeat, which may mean booning X, may mean getting a rematch against Gozu. Like, there are a bunch of other things that Shishiba can now be doing. So these two characters kind of walking opposite yet parallel paths. It's actually a really interesting writing choice. So I'm leaning with that, and I'm rocking with that. Osaragi's characterization here is also interesting, too. Notably, do I think she'll ever be relevant? No. At best, she's going to beat Kumanomi or something. Like, that's it. But still, I do like the characterization for her. Kamihate, I'm definitely hoping he develops into more of like a character. Don't get me wrong, it's fine to have your gag characters, but like, especially in the state that the story is right now. I know Sakamotodays is always still a comedy manga, but like he does feel like a teeny tiny bit out of place at this point. And it does feel like he took away a little bit from the more serious mood of the chapter, but at the same time, you know, it's still... this has a good balance of, like, the Sakamotodays funniness and character work that I do appreciate. Once again, I do like Sakamotodays character work. And the fact that I don't fully understand it on a first live reaction is actually like a good thing. And I'll probably think about it more and then have a different opinion next review. When it drops next week, and I'll review again. So, it's actually a good thing that I'm like, wishy-washy, wibbly-wacky. For Gozu and Izuki's interactions here, very interesting. Once again, Gozu, a very free-spirited character, but I just feel like it's a bit hollow. He just hasn't really done anything to really make me believe that he deserves this like second-in-command role that he's clearly been given. Even more so than Oki, he feels like a guy who kind of bosses Uzuki around in a weird way, but I just haven't gotten enough from the guy outside of his design, drip, or in abilities for me to really be like, yeah, that actually makes sense. But I appreciate the character conflict there as well. I like the idea that Gozu is essentially agreeing to work with Uzuki now, but he's telling him to step it up, or else not only will he be disrespecting the lost comrades they have so far, but on top of that, he'll also literally leave. Like, it wouldn't shock me if Gozu not really becomes like a good guy, but it becomes like a third party. Very similar to like what Tenkyu was in the prior arc, where he technically wasn't really working with anybody, but could be convinced or swayed to work with one or the other. So I do like that characterization for Gozu. And then, obviously, Shin, whatever, basic stuff. Oh no, main character, or Deuteragi's gonna protect main character in Sakamoto's store. That's fine. So overall, a pretty W chapter. It has this moments where I'm like, huh? But at the same time, I think that's like good character writing and character conflict. It may just need something I need to like sit down on a private reread and be like, okay, I get this better now. Or I can have y'all in the comment section explain it. But speaking of the comments, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you want to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that little notification so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you even have a page down below where you support me for as well as one kid one. Hitting the exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, then become a member of the channel for as well as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Those perks include the live reactions, here the series I have to review, ad reactions of all my videos, and if you become a $12 Patreon or $12 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, the link to my Ko-Fi is just down below. You shall find me for a short video, 20 MB long video, or any means at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I bet y'all thought I forgot the password. Nah, not today. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave no matter what. No matter what. Bada bing, bada boom in the comment section down below. Now, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with a pencil, writing off. I would like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier, XZ, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Uda, Alex Kenny, Yuki Ally, Enzo, Nevis 97, Zachary Wilson, Azo 2404, Planet Crone, Rye Rich, G Prosper, Swift Strike, Alexicon, Striker Man, and Autumn Mornings Lazo. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art patrons, Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Dread Zoan, and A+A. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier members, Austin Wimberly, Euchia, and Shrimpo the Shrimp. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members, J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Waki Munoz and Waki Munoz. And a final gargantuan thank you to our ultimate, that guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin's wife. Not Calvin Elder, who ultimately does have one of my kidneys, but now I must know, and I must undergo the process of getting this second one removed, so I can send the other over to this wonderful family.